I think the most important of all the steps we've taken is the time taken to consult with the ethnically diverse groups in the market and the corporation on what would be meaningful to them. And that has resulted in our Inclusive Futures program, which is a kind of package of initiatives and programs spanning a decade, which support ethnically diverse groups from the classroom to the boardroom, starting with a schools engagement program, early career talent pools, development programs through mid-careers, board level talent pools and bursaries, and then master's supplements for those that go through our development programs. So an entire career pathway. And that program was put together because that's what people told us would be meaningful to them in terms of change. And then we like to try and ensure for those who work in the corporation that we look at how every part of our employee journey is impacted by characteristics, whether that be recruitment, performance, engagement, etc. And data-led interventions are how we make progress. So I think was the first was kind of a commitment to be transparent about what we learned about Lloyd's history. So that was the absolute bedrock of it. The second was being really, really clear about what we were going to collect in terms of data, both for the corporation and the wider market, and then being transparent about that data. So publishing it regularly across our market, but also within the corporation. And make sure, taking time to make sure that the programs that we design are delivering the impact that A was requested and B is needed. And then also looking at how we can do things differently. So a great example of that is we're trying to remove bias in the performance management process and training an AI tool to run across every objective for everybody in the organization and look at how measurable and smart that objective is. And that's really to help move to a evidence-based process of performance assessment. And the aim is over time, along with educating managers and making the process better, to use that kind of evidence-based objectivity to remove disproportionality in the performance process. And we've made significant progress with that last year, and we'll make even more progress next year, I'm sure. So I think when we went through the process of understanding Lloyd's history and creating the Underwriting Solves Digital Humanities program and creating Inclusive Futures, probably, the wisdom of the crowd probably said that that was going to have a negative impact on how interested ethnically diverse groups were in working within the Lloyd's market and applying for it. And the opposite has been true. So we've seen a big increase in applications from ethnically diverse groups, now accounting for 50% of applications. And this year for the corporation, resulting in 40% of hires. As part of our program, we introduced the 1 in 3 hiring ambition late in 2021. And last year alone, that was responsible for 2,874 ethnically diverse hires into the Lloyd's market. And over the period of it running, over 5,000 hires to date. And we'll have the numbers for 2024 in the next few months, and I fully expect that to be over 7,000. A real focus on how we recruit, and that's not just for the corporation, but across the market. We've seen representation increase since 2022, from 8% to 13% ethnically diverse groups overall, from 5 to 9% in leadership. We really are seeing those numbers change. And critically, every single managing agent in our market that we oversee now is collecting ethnicity data. And that is hugely important because it helps us understand what we need to do and informs the actions that we need to take. So if I was to summarize it, I would say transparency is number one, consulting with ethnically diverse groups and creating programs that are meaningful for them, and also reporting that data and using that to to be held accountable, and not fearing not having everything right all the time. You know, a program that is multifaceted and designed over a decade will need tweaking every now and then, will need course correcting. But I think broadly, that's been our framework for making sure every action counts. And every single employee in the corporation has a culture objective. And allyship is one of those elements. And so in that way, it is absolutely everyone's business and every action counts because of it. Just be deliberate about what you want to do, and maybe don't try and boil the whole ocean at one time, but focus on something. Focus on a moment that matters, whether that's performance or recruitment or engagement, whatever the challenge is for you. Focus on that. Collect the data, make a difference, and you can use that to build confidence. And maybe on the back of that, don't give up, because culture change isn't easy, and it can take